BB squared was developed as a nutritional supplement, and I'm no scientist, biologist, heck, I can't even spell the words, but I can tell you this, right when I started using it 2 years ago, I figured out real quick the power of the attractant on it, and last year was no exception. I started putting it out on big browse. I've been hunting them for 2 years, knew he's a 5-year-old. It was time to try to harvest this buck. Started putting the BB squared out, and guess what? He started showing up right away.
You know, Pete harvested big browse opening day, early muzzleloader season in Kansas, while literally eating BB squared. Not only did BB squared attract and hold big browse, along with multiple other shooter bucks in the area, but big browse have been feeding on BB squared for over 2 years, packing on a good 30 inches from year 4 to 5, making it an impressive 160-inch 8-point, and we'd like to attribute that to the nutritional benefits that BB squared has to offer.
There's a couple reasons why I like to use BB squared. First of all, it's a great way to get inventory of your deer, especially in the summertime going into fall. Putting the BB squared right in front of the Reconyx camera, you'll get thousands of pictures and really get a good idea of what you're going to be hunting that fall. I like to use it in the summertime when they're really packing on the antlers. And last year, me and my wife harvested a couple great bucks. I found the sheds off from the year previous, pumped them full of BB squared all summer, and both deer jumped 30 to 40 inches in 1 year. And I attribute a lot of that to the BB squared.
Derek and Megan know big whitetails and they know how to grow them. That's why they use BB squared during the off season, to supplement those deer with the nutrition proven to take them to the next level. Here's 2 great examples, a 204-inch 8-pointer and a 178-inch non-typical monster.
You know, last year when I killed the Big 9, I really found out the importance of BB squared, especially out in Kansas. You know, what we found out there is utilizing it as a tool for not only patterning the deer, but really getting good trail camera pictures of them. We were able to pattern them all summer long. You know, I really attribute the BB squared as one of the main tools that I used throughout the summer to really pin down the Big 9 at the beginning of September when the muzzleloader season came in.
Like stated before, BB squared really is a nutritional supplement and powerful attractant. Tom fed the Big 9 all year long, helping him to pack on this impressive headgear he's sporting, as well as use it as a tool to pattern, hold, and harvest this amazing Boone and Crockett whitetail.
When I first got access to this property, I was really excited to see what was on there, and driving around I found a telephone pole and out in the middle of a CRP field that was grown up and it was completely shredded. So I knew I had a big buck lurking around on this farm, but I couldn't figure out where he was. So I put out a big pile of BB squared, put a camera on it, and he started showing up. At the end of the year, I had a few pictures of him, and I was really excited for the next season. So we poured out some more BB squared, got some regular pictures of him when he was in velvet, and then the season started. We got a lot of pictures of him on some scrapes and running scrape lines during the season, but we couldn't lay eyes on him until the opening day of rifle season. He was the 43rd deer that walked by.
We're always talking about using BB squared to pattern these animals, and here's a perfect scenario. A 170-inch deer named B-side. It was very apparent that Jason had a big buck roaming this new property. Problem was, he didn't know where he was living. He brought in BB squared to help find this buck's core area and pattern him.
You know, I'm really to the point where I'm not that interested in even hunting in places I can't use BB squared because of the unbelievable results that we've had with it. There was a buck that was on the top of the hit list. It's a buck that I fell in love with named the Jackalope. He was a 7 or 8-year-old giant 6-pointer, and he disappeared during the early season. I had filmed Pete killing big browse, and he must have been a witness to the killing because all of a sudden he just disappeared. And Pete told me, "Don't worry about it. He'll be back." And we just poured the BB squared to him, and sure enough, he started showing back up. Crawled up into a blind. Opening day, the rifle season. I look out the window, and wouldn't you know it, there's the Jackalope.
I'd like to tell you the story about a deer that I've named the Jackalope, which, as you can see, is a giant 6-pointer. This is a buck that was conditioned and grew up eating BB squared. After the early muzzleloader season finished, this buck disappeared. But after being conditioned on BB squared during the antler growing period in the summer, he came back and he experienced the power of the brown bag. This bag right here is the bag that he was eating on when he took a 308 sandwich right behind the shoulder. This buck, this old 6-year-old 6-point that we've named the Jackalope, he discovered the power of the brown bag.
We've just shown you some great examples of the power of the brown bag, so now it's your turn to go grow, hold, and harvest with BB squared.